Conversation we started here yesterday about what high school students are facing in the walk up to higher education. College AP exams are coming up in just a matter of weeks, and as many colleges move away from the traditional SAT and ACT scores, the focus on AP exams is growing. We welcome back David Blobaum, who's the Director of Outreach for the National Test Prep Association. Thanks for being with us.
Good to see you again.
Of course, a lot of us don't remember, like, did I take them? I think I took them. My parents probably made me take them. What's the importance of AP exams?
Yeah, so for most students, AP exams are not important for admissions themselves. They're only important for admissions if you're applying to one of the very top schools. So for most students, the helpfulness of AP exams comes from getting course credit out of the way in college. So that means you can take fewer courses when you're in college and have an easier course load, or you can potentially graduate early. Or with those core requirements out of the way, you can then get to harder or more advanced courses or just more interesting courses that you'd like to take.
Is there any drawback to taking them?
None at all. So, I mean, if you don't like your scores, then just don't send those scores to colleges and don't report them.
Okay. UC and state colleges here in California dropped the SAT requirement in recent years and the ACT. What is most important when it comes to college admissions now?
So, a student's high school GPA is, and will very likely continue to be the most important criteria for admissions. After that would be the rigor of a student's high school curriculum. So if they're taking more AP honors courses and doing well in those. The UC schools are test blind, but they're part of only about 6% of schools in the country that won't consider SAT and ACT scores. 88% of schools are test optional, meaning they invite students to send SAT and ACT scores. They still care about them, and those scores, if they're good, can help a student get into the college and get more scholarships.
Got it. But if I have a child and she or he is hoping to stay in state, this puts an awful lot of pressure on that GPA.
Absolutely. So it makes everything else more important with the once you exclude SAT and ACT scores.
What about the thought that colleges want a well-rounded student? They want to see that I was in 4-H and that I volunteered in my local hospital. Do all those extras really matter in the end?
They do. And what matters more is really, can you create a good narrative for yourself? So you're exactly right. Colleges used to say, we want the well-rounded student. A lot of colleges are now saying they want the well-lopsided student, meaning they want you to lean into your passions. So if you really like biology, they want to see that over the summer you're maybe doing some internships or taking some summer classes in biology, because that shows that you know what you like and that you're willing and ambitious to pursue that.
So don't just do volunteer work to check that box. Don't just go down and say, I need this, let me do it. Like, actually want to do it.
Absolutely. Volunteer work is really good to have. Everyone honestly should have that.
Yeah.
But yes, the other things, lean into your interests and your passions. That will show through in your essays, and you'll be a more attractive applicant to colleges.
I was lucky enough to attend a talk that a local author gave recently near the town where I live, and she said that we need to stop putting so much pressure on our students to get that GPA up, take all those AP classes, because you're creating a very singular focus. And if in the end little Jimmy or Susie doesn't get into UCLA, he or she might feel like a failure. But guess what? UC Santa Cruz is not failure. San Diego State Junior College is not a failure.
Absolutely. And there's a lot of evidence to say that you really don't necessarily want to be the small fish in the big pond.
Yeah.
You're actually likely to be more successful if you're the big fish in a small pond. So if you're just barely squeaking into a school, you might struggle there and you might actually feel bad about yourself. Whereas if you go to a school where you're very well equipped to succeed, you might be in the top of your classes, and the data says that you're actually more likely to be successful if you were in the top of your classes at any school.
Yeah, and that is what we want for our children. All right, we can talk forever, and I'm glad you were able to join us back again today. David Blobaum, National Test Prep Association, thanks for being with us.
Thanks so much.
Of course. Coming up here on Mornings on